Hey, Taryn.
Hey, Roxanne.
We'll get there later. But I pretty much decided that one of the reasons that I love me some Instagram is because it's
Mhm.
always changing,
Agreed.
which I think probably makes some people cray cray, like, not again, but I'm loving it. And golly gee willikers, there have been some great changes over the last few months, including one just happened like for us last week, so when we're recording it.
hmm
So I think we really got to talk about, because if we don't, y'all are going to feel paralysis, overwhelmed. I don't know what to do. Or you'll start just throwing that spaghetti at a wall. And guess
hmm
what? None of it's going to stick. So we're going to break down the newest four really IG updates and give you a little tidbit on how it's going to impact your business.
Exactly. So we are moving from spring to summer Instagram. So get your hot Instagram summer strategy.
Oh, I like
Yeah.
that. Like hot girl summer. Yes.
That's what I was going with.
It worked. It landed really well. The other thing I just think straight out we should probably say is that the IG makeover is perfectly timed. It's like Instagram is talking to us, because it's perfectly planned, and I'm sure we'll talk about it later. But if you are feeling I don't know how to implement these things, or I've never really done anything strategy wise for Instagram, the IG makeover is literally like next week if you listen to this when it comes out. So just hang tight, register for that. We got you covered. I had to get that out there. I thought it was very important.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
good.
Okay.
That felt
Okay.
right.
Good. Okay. Good. Good. If it didn't, that would have been real awkward. You're like, no, that didn't go right. That didn't land, Rox. Sorry, it didn't land. Okay, so let's go with shall we, you want to do the newest one first, or what do you think?
Yes, let's do the newest one because I think it's the one I am most excited about. And this change almost gives me like a, like just sweat off my back or whatever the saying is. Don't ask me. I'm not into pop culture. We all know that. But if you make a really good piece of content on Instagram and you're like, God, this one is so good. It answers like what my customers like need to know. But then as you post more, it gets buried and buried. And you're like, gosh, that's where my post went to die. It's dead. There's nothing going on there anymore. Well, alas, we can bring it back.
You can pin that up, pin it, baby. So I love what you said about that, because that's so true. It's like, gosh, that piece of content was just a bomb diggity. Well, now you can pin your top three. It might be more than three. I just haven't tried.
Yeah, actually, I don't know either. I just assumed three as well. That's funny.
Because it felt right. But you can actually pin them to the top. The way I liken it too is like, if you do stories, and you know how we have story highlights, those are kind of those places where people can go and just learn all the things you want them to learn about you if you do it strategically. Well, now maybe you're like, I don't do stories, or I'm just not there yet, or I'm there, but I want more. You can take those top posts and pin them. I think it's really exciting. It's easy to do. And when you think about the fact that when someone comes to your Instagram, you get 5 seconds. It's like my 5-second rule, right? You get 5 seconds for them to see what's she about. Is she my people? Is she always going to be talking about one thing that I want to talk about? Is she trying to peddle her stuff? Is she my people? Is she my people? Is she my people? You have a chance to show them, I'm your people, and this is what you need to know about me in 3 posts.
I like it.
I agree with you. I think it's great. Keep coming. Go. You're excited. Let me hear it.
I am excited. It's just because you can instantly present a problem that they're having. And when they come to your account, before you even talk to them, like they will, what is that? How do you say, like, they will basically like decide whether like you are the person to talk to and follow or you're not. And that's okay. So they're basically clarifying themselves, quantifying.
Yeah.
Help me.
Yeah. Well, they're filtering. They're judging you is what they're doing. I hate to say it.
They are, and that's okay.
Oh,
qualifying. They're basically qualifying themselves for you before you even have to have a conversation. And if they're anything like me, there's different types of people who purchase out there. There's people who purchase really fast and then they're going to hop in your DMs and see what the solution is. Or there's the people that realize, oh, this is the girl, like I need more information, but I'm going to hang out. I'm going to see what content she puts out. This looks pretty interesting. So
that's absolutely true. And I think that's really good to point out, because when I say judging, I don't want anyone to think like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be judged. The way you said it was beautiful. They're pre-qualifying themselves. Mm-hmm. So they might say, yeah, not interested. Great. That saves you time because you are busy. I hate that word. You are full, complete, and you're very active. And so it gives you an opportunity to focus on the better opportunities out there, the people who want to hear what you have to say and the people who want to buy it. But that doesn't mean, now I'm just going to caveat that doesn't mean, oh, if that's the case, Roxanne, then I only want to talk about my business. No, because you're missing out on a lot on those people who want to hear more, but know that they're like, I like her. I like Taryn. I want to know more. You're going to scare away those people if all you do is talk about your product.
Right. Because then why wouldn't I just go to like a website and buy the product and, go to Ulta? Like you need to present yourself as someone who knows the solution to their problem. So it needs to be talking about the problem they're having. They have curly hair. They feel like their hair is flat and dead. And they come to your account and it's like, how to revive your curls.
Yes.
They don't see a product. They see a solution to how to revive their curls. And then they're like going to start reading it and they go, oh, this shampoo, like cool. Like I'm kind of interested.
Totally. And I know we dove into strategy. We can't help ourselves, but we can. All that strategy, all those things, social stories, we help you there. The other thing that I think is important to know about this, if you're like, well, how do I do it, Roxanne? How do I do it, Taryn? We actually have a reel. I did a reel like right when it came out. So if I will remember to put in the show notes, so you can just click there and you can watch exactly how to pin your post to the top.
Yes. I'm literally making a note. So we put it there for you guys.
I did too, which my notes go into the ether, but Taryn's notes they make things happen. So
action notes.
They're going to creep up. I'm going to see them. The second thing that you may not be using yet on Instagram with your reels is a really exciting thing. One of the things I love about stories and reminding people how to use stories effectively. If you've done my IG stories challenge, you want to be using those engagement stickers. That is huge, 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 huge. Well, now you can use them on reels. They exist on reels. So by that, we mean polls, we mean questions, we mean quizzes. Those things are now available just in the exact same spot you'd find them, really, honestly, for stories, but when you're doing your reels.
Yep. Yeah, that's really exciting. I've been craving that, and it's like Instagram read my mind, and I'm like, oh, it's here now, and it's not on every account. So if you don't have it yet, they're kind of being selective in how they're rolling it out, but it'll be here soon, and that one's really exciting.
How would you use it as a network marketer, Jay Bear?
So I guess it would depend on, so say I'm going to go with the problem solution example, since that's what we're kind of talking about today. Like getting in there of like when you're starting to have your reel and it's about this problem. Do you have this problem? Yes. No. Like, what is your problem? And then they have a spot to put it and can engage with you. So again, they're like qualifying themselves for what you're about to like solve.
I like that. Oh, that's good. So like you do a fun, juicy reel about, or maybe one that's more direct about a problem. And do you have it? Yes. So you do use the poll, yes or no. And the second one you'd use would be like the actual question, what is your problem? And then you're like, if you got a problem, I'll solve it. Hang on, I'm gonna check my DJ resolved it. Ice, baby. Boom, 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 boom. We need a little music in there. So that is a great feature if you are rocking the reels, and do not be surprised if the reels challenge adds a little add-on here pretty soon to incorporate that. Just gave myself homework. Look at that.
Okay, so now the third thing that is rolled out a little while ago, and we haven't seen a ton of people use it, is collaborations on Instagram. So you can collab with your posts and your reels.
Yes, that's huge. And And I like that you called out that we haven't seen a lot of network marketers use it, but people are using
Mm-hmm.
it and we can use it too, everybody. So the way I see this one working is this. We're doing problem solution and you mentioned hair earlier, right? Okay, so maybe you want your hair to look fuller. Like maybe you want to grow those baby hairs. I hear that a lot.
These little baby bangs here, guys, if you're
Yeah.
watching.
You want them to come out like, right? And you have that issue. Okay, so let's say you have a product, made collagen, great, because I know a lot of the collagen sellers sell it for hair. So you've got collagen that's going to help someone's hair growth. Awesome, amazing. Let's say you know a stylist. You have some kind of connection with a stylist who loves using that collagen. Like maybe she's your stylist and she loves using that collagen. She's a believer of it, all the things. And whether she is interested or not interested in actually selling the product, she is a great believer or a product, what is that word? Evangelist, okay, for you. You guys could do some type of collab post. It might even be you getting your hair done. And maybe she got a picture of you after you got your hair cut or whatever with her. And you guys could collaborate on a post where you talk about, I love my hair, love my hairstylist, loving this style. And with this great haircut she's given me and collagen that I'm using, I feel like my hair I'm a new woman. And you can actually request to collab with her. She can show it. So it's cross-pollinating so that people, like maybe your friends in that area, are like, oh, I do love your hair. Where'd you get that haircut? It'll literally say your name and her name so they can click over and see her stuff. And people who love her, use her, follow her, but are like, I would love the baby hairs to grow out. They will find you and your collagen and bada bada bing.
This is gold.
You like
I hope you guys are all writing this down. Like I wasn't even thinking of going that route. And this is why Roxanne runs social stories. Come on, guys. Like this is amazing. We just gave. Woo!
That was a lot. I know. I just had to give it. So do not sleep on the collaboration. It's funny because the title actually prompts you on what to do with it, right? Collaborate with people. Focus on people who your audience and their audience would work nicely together. Yeah. But are not this, maybe you don't know each other that well.
They're not competing, is basically what you're saying. Like you're not trying to collab with someone who also sells collagen because you guys are then selling the same thing.
Right.
So that wouldn't necessarily work. It's very cohesive and goes together. It's a win-win for both counts.
Yes. It's such a win-win. And you think about social media and in its ways, how it kind of takes what we were doing in person and it has its own spin and version on it. If you've ever done an event where there are a few other even network marketers per se, you did like we're going to have a little event. We're going to invite all of our friends to like physically come and see our wares. It's kind of in a way like that in a virtual space. Yeah. Without being as official. So I think it's brilliant. I think you should use it. And if you're in social stories, because it is July, which means it's Christmas in July, which sounds a little odd, but we're getting ready and strategizing on your Christmas plan now. So you have plenty of time. The longer the runway, as we say in online business, the more successful you'll be. Don't be surprised if I have some more tidbits on how to collab for the holiday season. Just saying.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. And the last but not least, do you remember what it is?
Number 4. So we had talked about this previously in another episode, and Instagram has came out and said that they prioritize original content. And that is a win for us. Yes, it sounds like, oh, I got more work. I got to create original content. No, this is great. This is a great thing to grow your authority and expertise on an account. And then Instagram will prioritize showing that to people. So what are your thoughts on it?
What my thoughts are that what it means is if you are someone who joined network marketing and you were told, great, you don't have to even know what to post, we'll tell you. And for you, you probably thought, if you're the person who thought, oh, that's great. That is such a blessing. That's time and all the things. When you learn the strategy of network marketing, you also realize that actually is not helping you with social media. It's not helping you in life. You being a carbon copy of someone else is not Yeah, this is a life lesson. It's not just a social media lesson. Who wants a Kim Kardashian 10.0? I don't.
Me.
Okay, you do. Who wants?
Use another example. Is my idol? No, I'm just kidding, you guys. I do not want to be here.
She's totally kidding, y'all. She's totally kidding. Like, I just want to get letters.
We're gonna have really big lips the next time I come on. Hey guys. Nothing wrong with lip implants, but
they're gonna be like, Taryn, find another idol. Yeah, no, it's okay. She's not her idol. She has no feelings either way about Kim. But here's the thing. We always think, oh, I want to be just like so-and-so. And it's like, no, you don't. I got to tell you, the more and more I realize that to just be me, as crazy and wild and Roxanne as I am, no one else can be Roxanne but me. No one else can be Taryn but you. And so when we think that it would be beneficial to just be told what to post, I get it. Initially, that might be like a learning curve. I've got some kind of content. But as soon as you can take that pacifier out of your mouth and like start using your big girl voices, the better it's going to be.
Yeah. And I think this is kind of us worth calling out too, because people will be like, well, don't you teach people how to like just do what it is on Instagram? And it's like, yes, but we're teaching like the foundations. Like, this is how you create your own strategy. Like, we've got the meat and potatoes, but you need to like drizzle that seasoning all over it, make it yours and yummy, because otherwise it's just bland meat and potatoes. So that's the difference. Like, and I love that companies are coming out and trying to give these social media plans. So they are addressing that social media is important to grow your business, but copy and paste, it's not going to work. And then you're going to feel defeated because you're like, here I am, I'm posting on social media, I'm doing it, I'm doing what they tell me to do. But I hate to say that it's not enough. Like, I don't want to take that negative spin, but it's not. But there is other ways to do it. And we teach that. And that's exactly why we're redoing the IG makeover, because there's new features, there's new strategy. And instead of, like you said, being overwhelmed with like, oh my God, there's so much stuff, we'll make it clear and simple. And so you can like come out and feel really confident in what you're posting on Instagram or Facebook, I guess.
Yeah, all of that. When you said that, first thing I thought is my dad has this theory, my little Trinidadian Jeffrey was his name, Jeffrey. That different, with all the traveling we've done, like different countries have, he's like, food is really very similar in all countries. Like you got your meat, your protein, but his big thing is like everyone seems to have like some type of bread, some type of rice, and some type of beans. Like most of them have that, but they cook it in a different way.
Yep.
So it's like, oh, what did you do with bread? Oh, it's naan. Oh, and then coconut naan is so yummy. What'd you do? I made tortillas with it. What'd you do? I made like full on like big bread with yeast, but it's all very similar as his phrase. And I'm sure he says it better than I do. But I think but it's the base, but then it tastes really different. You're going to go to tortilla or getting naan or like a bacon butty bread and is completely a different experience. But the meat, but the bones of it are the same. And I love that you said that because that's so very true. So we'll show you how to take the strategy, take those bones that maybe you're getting from corporate and make it so I feel like I'm in a different country. I'm in the country of Taryn. And I get to experience the country of Taryn, not, I feel like I'm at Disney World going around Epcot Center.
Saw this post already.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same. Although I do love Epcot Center because you can drink around the countries. I'm not sure that. But
I haven't been there post 21, so I don't know.
Yeah, I was there with my 4-year-old nephew when he was 4. He's not 4 anymore. I thought, I need to do this with adults.
Yes. RoxTalks retreat at Epcot. We'll drink around the world.
Oh my gosh. Yes. And we'll do a podcast from every country.
Yes.
Fun. You're like, we're tired of hearing from her. She's not making any sense.
We're now in Europe. I don't know my name anymore. Gosh, you guys, that would be probably a train wreck, but I'm here for it.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm here for it too. So So all that to say, the algorithm has spoken, and you can fight us on it, but the algorithm is the algorithm. It is the paradigm which we live in, and a strategy would be good for that. So, I mean, there were so many new things today, 4 things.
Yes. I feel like you're very much, we need to know where you are because you just gave it away a little bit, but you are embracing the country you're in right now.
Well, I didn't say anything. Oh, that. Yeah. Yeah. Do you know that when I come to Canada, I also have the tendency to like talk up instead of talk like straight? I'm like, don't you think? I see. I end my sentences with with a little lift.
We do that in Michigan. So that's just
Michigan,
like what I do.
Michiganders sound like that makes sense. They almost sound like they're Canadian. So yeah, that makes total sense. I'm in Canada. Oh, Canada. I'm in Vancouver, but today I fly out. So I'm literally in the airport hotel, which is quite lovely. Might I say. And I'm headed, I was in Whistler.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So gosh, I feel like there's so many behind the scenes I want to talk about. Before that, I was in Dallas, which was so fun. I went to the Scout and Cellar convention. No, I'm not with Scout and Cellar. Everyone's like, is that the convention? No, I'm not. I spoke there. But it was amazing. 1,000 network marketers or Scout and Cellar consultants just ready. So if you were at the Scout and Cellar AMP conference, I hope that I met you. It was so good. I got to meet Laura Johansson like in person. She's been in social stories for years. I was so excited. Oh my gosh.
Oh, that is so cool.
That was very cool. And Erin Anderson, I met you as well too. We have 2 Erin Andersons. One I know. So yeah. So that was great. And it was great to be back on the big stage again. A group of like 1,000 people. I'm like, don't F this up, Roxanne.
You looked so like confident. Like when I saw the pictures, like it was just exuding that. I was like, oh my God, look, I would be pooping my pants. I'd probably need a diaper, like literally wearing a diaper up there while I pooped. But you looked like a natural.
There was no pooping. But you know, what's funny is like when I went to the rehearsal the day before, sometimes you go to these rehearsals, like you've got all the tech people there and they give you a little clicker. And I'm always more concerned about the clicker. Like I want to make sure the clicker works. And there's some people in the room, and you kind of tell they want to hear what you're going to say, but I don't want to give it away because that's not how I operate. Like some people like want to do the whole presentation right there. And I just want to click and go, okay, see this. So I'm learning that about myself, remembering that. So anyhow, I went home to my room that night, and I basically like went through it while I was waiting for my food to come. And then I laid in bed and I just visualized it. And in that moment I visualized and I was saying it. And I fell asleep doing that. And I woke up, I'm like, and I kept going. And I knew, all right, I'm ready. It felt really good. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. I love network marketers. You know this. So cool. And then, so Whistler, what I need to tell you about Whistler, this is very important, is I went to the first time I've ever been to a Scandinavian spa where they do hydrotherapy.
Yes. You love that kind of stuff.
You had me at spa.
Yes.
Don't worry, everyone. I'm converting. Taryn is going to be a spa lover. Like if you don't like spas, you'll tell me though, right?
Yes. I'm waiting. I'm saving this for my behind the scenes.
Okay. So she's like, I cannot respond right now. Right? So here's what you need to know about the Scandinavian spa hydrotherapy. And Whistler is gorgeous, gorgeous. Never been there before. It's like a village, like it's just like a village of, they just do things there. Like they're still, they ski and they mountain bike and all these things. And the mountains are all over the place. We go to the Scandinavian spa and you get there and and it's like you're in a log-ish like cabin. You go downstairs and you change and you go outside. I put the video on my stories. Literally, like there's all these pools. So you go outside, and I started by going into the steam room because I love me a steam room. Then I went into the hot pool, and you're supposed to soak in the hot pool for like 15 to 20 minutes. So like a jacuzzi. Then you go into a cold pool, and you're supposed to be in that for 5 to 20 seconds. And then you go into like a room. that's like a room temperature room, and you're supposed to just relax. And they had like hammocks or these like beds. And you just lay there and you look out the window and it's like, oh my gosh, this view is crazy. So I did that 3 times. I just switched off the steam room or the sauna each time. And the first pool I went into, the cold pool, was 10 degrees. And I'm like determined because, I do cryo. So I'm like, I'm going to stay longer. One mistake, I put my hands underneath the water. I shouldn't have. So when it came out, I'm like, my hands hurt. And I sang the song Shiver by Ed Sheeran in my head. I'm like, stay longer, stay longer. So I stayed in for like 2 minutes. That was a lot. And then the second time, the pool, when you go down further, was 15 degrees. There's a big difference between 10 degrees and 15 degrees. 10 degrees, like that one, I stayed in for like 4 minutes. And I was like doing water aerobics. You can't talk. So I'm just like moving my mouth because you can't talk. And then
you have to be quiet, or you're so cold you can't talk.
No, you literally are not allowed to talk in any of this. All about not talking everywhere.
Oh my
God,
I love this.
Silent experience. And then the last one was 9 degrees. I got into that one, but they only let like one person in at a time, and you can't even get your whole body in, but they've got the water cascading down. But I'm not getting my hair wet like that. So I crunched down. So I had most of my body, and I stayed in that one for like a minute. That one was cold. Do
you go in your bathing suit, or are you butt naked?
So that's a good question. Swimsuits, because it's outside. It's what is that? It's all the genders. Okay. And so it's all the co-ed. Genders. Yeah, and there were a lot of people there. And then I had a massage.
I'm like falling asleep because this sounds so luxurious. I'm like living it in my head right now. Because
why?
I'm going to have an experience just like this so soon. So
excited. Countdown. How many more days left till you go?
Well, when this airs, I'll have 6 days and then I'm going. And so this is helpful to hear because they have this outdoor thing at the spa I'm going to. So I booked, I get there early in the morning. I get there at 8. And I have a 90-minute massage. And then I have 2 hours between my next thing. So she's like, you can go in the sauna, the spa. We've got the cold plunge, like outside it's co-ed. So bring your bathing suit. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do that. It's definitely now. That sounds fun. But it's just like 2 hours I can chill. And then I have a 60-minute facial. And then after the facial, I have a wrap. For 90 minutes, 60 minutes. I can't remember, but like, I'm going to be there all day. I'm going to be a noodle.
Yeah. I don't even know how you're going to drive home.
I don't know. My grandma lives close there. I might be like, Grams, like I need to come take a nap on your couch before I go anywhere because I am just
for real. Because the massage, your facial, they kind of give you a little bit of massage with the facial, and then the wrap, you're going to wash it all off. Oh yeah. It's going to be great.
It's going to be so great. Like I'm scared for my bank account if I like this because it's going to need to be like a quarterly thing.
Well, but now you'll know you can schedule in advance. Quarterly, I think, is the way to go for sure. And I think the Vegas trip is not happening. Vegas month. Yeah. So I don't think I think we have to reschedule. So I'm glad that I got this in and was able to do this experience because I think we see self-care as a luxury, and I think we need to stop doing that. I'm not saying you have to go to a spa for an entire day every quarter, but like massages are necessary. She told me that my one side, I don't remember what she called it, muscles on the side of my shoulder, she's like more out of whack than the other. I don't remember. But I'm like, yeah, that's where my dog sleeps. She's like, well, you might want to move her to the other side. I'm like, I looked at her like, yeah, that's not happening. Like,
that's not an option. How about you just massage it?
So we do, it doesn't have to be massage. Maybe you don't like people touching you. Maybe it's not massages. Maybe it's not cold plunge, but we need something. And most of the people who listen to this identify as female. So I just want you guys to know, like that female energy that we have so much of literally means we are a nurturer, whether we have kids or not, which means that we are helping other people and we're putting out all this energy for other people, which is fantastic. I'm not saying to stop doing that, but you are not a unlimited energy source. I mean, we know that like about the world, right? There's not enough oil in the world. Like there's all these things. We are not unlimited energy sources. So at some point you have to stop and go, okay, my cup is not going to run over forever. What am I going to do to re-energize my cup before I get to the point where I want to kill everyone? I know, not literally, but I mean like yell at my kids and like Dracarius on everyone. What are you going to do? And then you regret what you say or you do, and then you feel bad, and it doesn't help. So what are you doing on a regular basis to give yourself some more energy?
Mm-hmm. I agree. I have mixed feelings about calling it like self-care, because to me, self-care is like brush your teeth, you brush your hair, like make sure you're like literally taking care of your body. And it's like, then what are you doing that's extra that feels good? And I don't know, maybe there's not a full term for it, because it's like me going to the spa, I wouldn't call that like my self-care, because not everyone can afford that. And it's like, I don't know, I want it. It's just like, what are you doing to spoil yourself every once in a while? And
well, let me push you on that. Oh, I use the word push. Let's play
challenge
with that,
me,
as my HD coach would say. Let's play with that. Okay. Here's my thought. If we call it something more than self-care, then it becomes this luxury and we feel like we have to have earned it.
Oh yeah.
If we call it self-care, like brushing your teeth, then it's something that is like, I don't have to earn it. This is just by nature. This is what I deserve. Clean teeth. That makes sense?
Yeah.
So in a way, I think we need to normalize it. It's just like healthy food shouldn't be the most expensive food. I shouldn't have to go to Whole Foods to get food that doesn't like pumped with a bunch of junk.
My body. Yeah. Like what?
I shouldn't have to feel like it's luxury. I'm with you though. I hear you when it's like, I don't want people to think you have to go spend X amount of money or but what can you do in this moment? Even if it's getting like a gua sha. Even Grace people, forgive me. I'm not gua sha. And like,
what the heck? Oh, one of those stones.
Yeah. And like, the stones. I saw this woman online on a reel, like it was like how to use the gua sha on your breasts. I was like,
wow, sensual.
I know. I was like, and this is what I did. I didn't watch it. I sent it to my you and Grace squash shop people. Like, thought you'd like to see this.
Here, add this into your content.
I do that all the time. Like, oh, this people, yeah. Anyway, but how there are things that we could be using on a regular basis to give us that energy we need. It may be that you get like one of those rolly things and you just massage that area that happens to be an issue. Like there are things we could do that are lower priced. So I don't want to
love. Like, how are you loving yourself? Maybe.
Okay,
maybe that's a good way to say.
Okay, but self-love has another. My young terror bear. If anyone's brave enough to tell her what self-love means in the world.
Well, I think I know it starts with an M, but that, I mean, sure, if that's what you want it to be as well, but it also be a massage from
conversation going. The youngsters these days, I just can't.
You guys, what we're trying to say is come to the IG makeover and get yourself a spa day because you deserve it. You're a queen, diamond crusted jubilee.
That's right. There it is. There's the podcast.
And that's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Bye, everybody. We'll see you later. See you at the makeover.
Yeah.